Well, I just want to say I'm probably gonna stop you there in an hour and 30 minutes. I'll just.
I am gonna stop within the next half hour because then my parents will be like, "It's midnight. You should go to bed."
It's gonna be 1 in the morning, about half an hour for me, and I need to start studying actually for social studies because our social studies teacher.
You're gonna study at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Just gonna say this. She's not giving us the essay portion until Wednesday, which last year you get like a week to study, and this year it's like, oh well, I'm gonna give you a full day because you have your midterm on Friday. So we're having one. I'm literally having one midterm on Friday, and it's only social studies, and and that's gonna be the most troubling one because we're learning stuff right now that's on the midterm.
That's what happened with us last year, though. At least for my class.
That's every year it seems like. It's just getting. It's like, can we just learn social studies? Like, uh, Pippa, she was taking AP this year, and I think she regretted it because she said she's not taking it next year. But I'm just gonna switch into AP next year because I
Yeah.
want to learn something in social studies. Damn it.
Yeah, I think you should. I was initially not gonna do
Hey,
AP, but then they asked me, "Hey, do you want to take AP?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" It's not that bad.
everyone's like, oh, you have to read textbooks and take notes. I'm like, my
Yeah,
favorite year of my entire life was in seventh grade when I was forced to take notes in my text about my textbook every night, and then we talk about it in class.
seventh
It
grade
was
was the best year of my life in school, without a
awesome.
doubt.
Like educational wise, I love seventh grade.
Yeah,
Great.
like
Eighth
last year
grade,
was my favorite socially, and then seventh grade is my best academic year.
ugh,
It's probably my best grade wise, also, but just
grade was first quarter of this year. Otherwise, I'm just gonna ignore this quarter because this quarter, I don't know. I actually dragged it up to a B, but I had a C. I think in every single class. It was not good because I failed the first science test and the first math test. So then I got an A on the next two, and I managed to bring it up. But that was really bad. I got a 50 on the math test and a 70 on the science test. We only
the worst grade I've gotten is I got a 50 something on a I got a 56 on my first Spanish quiz of the year, which is honor Spanish, so I immediately dropped down to that to academic, which is basically regular, and then I got like an A for the I
want
got
to
an A
say
plus. I got an 80 on the midterm, and I still got an A for the semester.
me in Latin is about a 50 to a 70.
Oh,
Anything higher,
drop out of that class, please. It's not
no.
worth it.
I realized, even colleges, you need to take 3 years of a language and pass 3 years of a language. I have a B plus in that class. I am passing. I may not
Is
be.
it? Oh, 3 years of the same language. Yeah, that's for us. That's a you have
Yeah,
to do that to get to a distinguished certificate or whatever. Distinguished.
it's
Uh,
also colleges are making it requirements. I checked three colleges and I was like, maybe I'll go to these three. All three of them had requirements of 3 years of the same language.
mhm.
It's so stupid. And then some colleges like, okay, if you don't take 3 years, you just have to take a year in our college. I'm like, a year of a college language is equivalent to me shooting myself with a gun. Ugh, I hate
Yeah.
language so much.
For me, I'm just annoyed because like we only have 7 classes to pick instead of 8 in Ridgefield. So I was stuck taking Spanish for one more year, and all like my elective is swim, and I have study hall now because I just couldn't do all my work outside of school. This school,
I
my
have to
new high
ask this.
school, I've never begged for like in like last year I was like, oh, I didn't get an A plus, I was sad. I've never begged for a B plus in my entire life, and in this school I beg for it.
You beg for a B plus. That's
It's
like a.
hard. It's harder than Ridgefield. It's harder than Ridgefield. Like
I,
I still am able to get A's and stuff, but it's a lot harder to get an A. Like if I get a 90, I'm happy. 'Cause that means it counts as an A. They don't A pluses don't exist.
A pluses don't
A
exist.
pluses, B pluses, C pluses. It's A B C D F.
Did I tell you how I got the highest grade on a science quiz by accident?
What'd you do?
Well, everyone on the quiz got this one question wrong because she worded it like you had to convert it from Celsius to Kelvin in the end, and she didn't tell you that in the question. It was just like it was sort of weird because it gave you it. It was really no. Actually, I'm sorry. You had to convert it from microliter or from liters to microliters.
Mhm. That's not
Or
that hard.
no, but it doesn't say that in the question. It just says that
Okay.
the question is just asking for how many. She has such and such liters, how many milliliters. So I was like, okay. So I solved the question like everyone else got it wrong. So it was really stupid of a question to get wrong because we even talk about converting, which everyone knows how to convert though. So it was just stupid.
Yeah.
But then she gave me it was a 4 point question, but she accidentally gave me only 3 points off for that. So I had
Wow.
in class.
That's
That
stupid.
I'm not even kidding. No one on the class got 100 on that because of that. because it
That's
was
funny
like
though. That's
stressful
funny.
enough already just to take the quiz, and like it was, yeah, and then it ends with that one little conversion that nobody thought about.
Hmm.
And I somehow got the. It was really funny when they're like, "Hey, how'd you get a higher grade than me?" I'm like, "Oh, because math."
Because teacher's bad at math. Chemistry teacher bad at math. That's good.
Out now. But yeah, I like my chemistry teacher right now. It's
My
fun.
chemistry teacher's good. She just doesn't teach fast enough for the course itself. So like I end up having to teach myself almost everything.
Teaching yourself everything.
I have to like she gives us a little introduction and then she spent
You're,
and like my
it's,
class is a pre-AP, which means honors in Connecticut terms. But half the people in that class are struggling to pass. So what like they spend half the time answering asking questions and stuff and I'm sitting there going la di da di da doing the homework that I see on the board. But I end up having to but then when she doesn't finish teaching something because people are asking so many questions, I have to go home and be like, what do I have to learn about? Okay.
we can't read our textbook because our textbook is written for an AP Chem class.
Our textbook is barely ever used. We haven't used it in a while because they make their own notes, which I think is really cool. I like that.
Make their own notes. What do you mean?
Like they make our like my chemistry class, they make little booklets and that booklet is the unit. And then you keep that in a big notebook that you buy like one of those composition notebooks, and then you make the little pockets with paper. Like you tape two pieces of paper, open it up, and it's a pocket. You put that in the pocket, and that's your section of notes for that unit.
So they give you the notes?
Yep. And you fill in blanks slash answers.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, it is. And then you know what I love is that you're gonna hate me for this, but they all my subjects except yeah, actually all my subjects give me a calendar that has all the homework for that grading period. So that's 6 weeks of lesson plans and homework.
That's nice. That's what they do in college, and that's exactly what I want.
That's how my dad passed college. He did basically all the homework instantaneously and then did nothing for like a while.
Yeah, but then it gets to the point where you're like, okay, now it's time for finals. I did this in one night. Okay, what do I do now?
Yeah. But my dad was smart. He knew what he was doing. My dad knows things. I don't know. I don't know. He just is like college, whatever. It's hard. Although when I first, like, I was staying up till like midnight every night until I like dropped out of my Spanish class because my Spanish classes was taking up most of my time. Just because you're required to actually know words, and I just didn't know the words at all. And what happened was,
You do homework at home?
no, not often. Usually, global, but that just says at school, I can't read for a long period of time
I,
at school because I
I
just get too bored.
I don't do my homework until either the class it's due in. I just do it
You did
during.
that last year though. That I hated it when you did that. You
I do.
always do your homework like
I
the
got
morning of.
I got 4.0 average last quarter, and then this quarter I'm getting a 3.7 or 8.
Slacker. Slacker.
It doesn't matter. I
Slacker.
don't care. I'm a slacker with with probably at the end of the year a 4.0 average.